Ever wonder what sets the winners apart from the losers? And what does it really take to be a winner? My name is Federico, and I'm a young, successful entrepreneur passionate about sports, real estate, mindset, and business. If you are just like me, then the Winning Ways podcast is meant for you.
Yo, welcome back to Winning Ways with Fred. My name is Federico and I'm your host. Guys, exciting show for you guys. I got a big winner for you guys in the TikTok industry. You guys are going to love it. As always, guys, this show grows via word of mouth. I don't run ads on it and don't plan on running ads on it. I find it annoying personally when I'm listening to a podcast and I get cut off every 15 minutes with ads. So I'm not going to do that. So please share it, especially today's show. I got a special guest for you. His name is actually Show. Show, what's up, brother? How are you, man?
Hey, Fed. How's it going, brother? I'm happy to be here. Thank you for hosting.
Man. Excited to have you on, man. I was going through your profile, seeing through everything you've done, man. And I want to start off. I know you're big on TikTok. You're big on Instagram as well. Do you know what really caught my attention that got me going, man? Was the video you had on TikTok. I think it was six posts back. You stating your beginning, how you started, your apartment, anxiety, and then you became this man built and a model and inspiring others. So walk us through that, man. Walk us through that process, that winning process.
Gotcha. So yeah, man, like you saw in my video, I definitely had zero confidence with me at all.
Yeah.
And the initiation of the whole transformation was literally just looking in the mirror and realizing I am no one, I have nothing to be proud of, zero accomplish, zero skill, no motivation, no purpose. It was probably the hardest pill to swallow. And then that was hard enough to actually start something, to take things seriously, in terms of like my life.
Of course. And what got you going? What was that switch that transformed your life, that got you going to switching it to success, to growing and to helping others?
It was so it took me quite a while for me, because I didn't have mentor, because also as a Japanese person, and I didn't really have that at the time. It was not really on social media or YouTube, so I was really domesticated in Japan and sometime coming back and forth. But about 3 years ago, I had this idea just came on to me when I lived in Amsterdam. Just immediately called my best friends and they're like, yo, I've got a business idea, let's do this. And I dragged them into this whole selfish idea that I had, but they really liked it. But we kept doing that for about a year. I was the only one who was doing it. And then the idea was like just a fashion online school, online community, and then teach people, be international, live your life the best way. Don't like suppress your life. And the entrance was a fashion, because I was in the fashion store for so long. But then we all had the burnout and everything. We couldn't make it. Zero money we made. So they left and I had to redo it in English. So there was like a two initiation in that sense, that when I had an idea came on to me, and the other one is like, okay, I have to do it in English and then change everything from the beginning as a life coach.
Got it. So at first it was in what language?
In Japanese.
Okay. And then you switched it off because you wanted to scale and reach more people, I assume.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect, man. And what does that look like right now within that business?
It's going well, man. To me, it's like every step I take, as an income or like whatever the benefits that you get, I'll just invest right away. So it's like really stepping up. To me, that's the progress and improvement. That's a pure joy to me. Like everything else that comes as a benefit or the result doesn't really fulfill me. But to be in that focus and stepping up the financial part or the social presence or the amount of followers, everything is just what I enjoy is the process.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And now on TikTok, you're really big. You have over 1 million followers. Did that come after you built the business, during, or you built that personal brand after you had built that business?
TikTok is definitely fast.
Okay.
And the content creation is probably my strongest part, like speaking, with the people and being in front of the camera, since, I did modeling and everything. I think that, and then also I was like taking pictures for as a photographer on the side for like a decade. So I
Yeah.
knew like how to use a bit of camera and everything. That definitely helped me. So I think my strongest point is definitely content creation. And then I had to learn all the, marketing, business and sales and everything.
Bro, it's impressive, man. When I saw your profile, I saw your story. It's lucrative, right? It's new. It's you're going through these online game, creating a fashion, and now you're trying to basically build self-confidence and help others build their self-confidence. I saw that's right now when your profile, you're offering coaching in a way for self to help people build that confidence. What does that look like?
You mean like the coaching, like coaching itself?
Yeah.
It's a very internal process, man. I think, to be honest, like I had a business coach and everything, but it is really comes down to the internal process. But in this case, I tend to have clients who's got like anxiety and who has trauma and past experience or something that hold them back. So that is very, like, to me, I want to have that experience itself a dramatic and like really a massive change in terms of like changing perspective and like really feeling someone different.
Yeah.
Like it's like when you're fishing, you're just like taking out each scale and then like you become lighter and lighter. And I don't think that logically that works for
Yeah.
the fish world, but what I'm saying, like it
Yeah.
becomes kind of like lighter and lighter, and then you see yourself authentic, and now you see yourself in a different perspective.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And I relate to that in a way too. Like when I started off, when I graduated college, I had anxiety, man, a lot.
Mhm.
Not knowing what I was gonna do with my life, money, and everything. And it was the self-development, the books. I did have YouTube and Google, so I went to listen to these big guys, Grant Cardone, Ed Milet, Tony Robbins. I don't know if you know him. Big guy.
Yeah,
He basically changed my life. And I think one of the key things that helped me switch off from this anxiety mindset was meditating, man, which I did see you're really big on.
absolutely, absolutely, man.
Yeah,
Do
man.
you also have you how long you been meditating, man?
4 years, man.
Yeah,
4.5
awesome.
years. So
Love
I've
that.
switched it off a bit. I started with the transcendental meditation with my mom teaches yoga and she taught me meditation. Now I've switched it more towards this thing called priming, that you do breathing
Mhm,
exercises before and then you go into your meditation. It's
mhm.
guided with Tony Robbins. It's a YouTube video. I definitely recommend it to anybody that's listening. It's called Priming with Tony Robbins. But man, I do these breathing exercises every morning when I wake up, and then I meditate, and then I journal, and it's just like you put yourself and you set your day, and you know what
Yeah,
you want to feel, and you attract those feelings. If I make myself understood.
yeah, absolutely, man. That is beautiful. Love that.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Like that's
So
amazing that your mother actually teaches yoga and the
yeah, man.
meditation. Like that's
Yeah,
sick.
bro. Yeah, she's in the process right now of building that brand. Trying to grow it. She's 55, right? And she doesn't speak the best English. I'm Colombian. But she is trying a lot. It's cool, man. It's motivating to see her at 55 trying to build a business and grow it and
Yes.
pushing. She's throwing an event this Saturday, and she only has a couple
Uh,
people going. And she's a little nervous about it, but I'm gonna fill it up for her without her knowing, and she's just gonna like trim. I'm just gonna give her that momentum, because it's really motivating. But it's beautiful, man. Yeah. Now, do you with your clients that you start helping in that self confidence, you implement meditation?
oh yeah, like I've been meditating about probably like over 5 years. So me and you are probably the same. And so the reason why I got like this weird pink going on is I've got tattoo,
Okay.
and one of them actually says meditation.
Okay.
And that's how much I dedicate my life and the philosophy around it to the meditation. I literally think that a meditation is the best training or the practice um out there. Like it's the most powerful. I don't know what should I call it, but let's say practice, the spiritual practice or
It
whatever you
is.
want to call it in the world. And I'm such a believer in it. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It centers you. I agree with you. It's so hard to explain how you feel. I always just say, hey
Yeah.
man, listen, just do it and do it consistently. Because if you do it for a month, it's not gonna work. The beauty comes
Yeah.
with it when you do it for years. And there's ups and downs. There's days that the meditation goes better. There's some days that goes worse. But there's always those days that's just like whoa. And it's beautiful. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful feeling.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, man.
100%.
You tie that up too with exercising consistently and visualizing, which I do daily, man.
Yeah.
And it's really impactful, man. It's definitely started shaping my life a little differently. Like over the last 2 years, so I'm 27. I started off in Morgan Stanley at 23, and I really started in the self-development world. I say 3.5, 4 years ago now, right? But I mean, as you know, as you go each year, you start like fixing little things, tweaking to see what works, what doesn't. And over the
Yeah.
last 1.5 years, I definitely feel like I've found my routine that works for me. Everybody has different routines. So, working out, meditating, reading every day, taking courses, going on lunches with my girlfriend with no phones, little things like that. Do you have any things like that, like your own routine, specific routines that help you?
Absolutely. Yeah, man. I hate breaking the routines.
Dang.
So yeah, if I say that I wake up 6 a.m. and I journal,
Yeah.
meditate, then I take a cold shower, and it can be switched, like it can be switch up, right?
Yeah.
Like depends. Like if I'm super sleepy, for example, like today I had a call 7 a.m. in the morning, and I had to jump into um the cold shower fast. But usually those are morning routine, and I start reading at 7 to 8 or something like that, and I'm already checking emails and texting back my clients at 8. And yeah, slowly I'm already kind of like start working, like touching laptop and stuff like that. um and then in the night I meditate.
Okay.
I don't necessarily have any other things.
Yeah.
I'd rather to just take time and meditate, because when you meditate twice a day, it's different. And then that's why I try to do that. Like, sometimes like I'm super dead to tired. Like, for example, like yesterday I was like literally I start walking at 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. and stuff. Like sometimes those kind of things, I mean, I just like straight to the bed, like no meditation, fuck that shit. But
Yeah, I
I'd
mean,
rather
bro,
to
we
have
all have those days. It
yeah,
happens, man.
exactly.
Nobody's fucking perfect, It's like there's days where you
Yeah.
just like, I don't have time for this shit. I got to move on.
Yeah.
So you meditate twice a day. Wow. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I only do it in the mornings. Maybe I'm gonna start implementing it at night. My mom
Yeah.
does it at night. She does it actually almost 3 times a day. She does it in the morning and the afternoon. In the middle of the afternoon, it's a shorter one, more
Yeah.
dedicated towards gratitude and intentions.
Mhm.
And then at night she goes on a 15-minute meditation too. I think it's something that needs to be explored and talked about a lot more, man. I think it is, but
Yeah, man.
I feel like it could help so many people, and it could help the world. If you meditate, it lowers it centers you. You're not neither mad nor too happy. It's just like you're in the middle, and you take everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah, bro. Like speaking of that, the reducing amount of the anxiety and negative energy. There's actually a study shows back in 1993 in Washington D.C.
Yeah.
There was a full 100 collective people, like they were collected for the meditation in Washington D.C. The 400 people meditated at the same time, certain period of time, and the people who did the research expected that 20% of the decrease of the crime scene of Washington D.C. And back in the day, the Washington D.C. is like crime city. There's like so much crime going on,
Yeah.
but actually went maximum 23% low. The based on the data was back in a 1989 to 1993 or something like that.
Yeah.
And they even FBI actually confirmed they could expect 50% of the crime reduce if they kept doing the longer period of time. And that's fucking insane.
Bro, that's crazy. But
That
to
is
me, it's
crazy,
like it's
man.
so crazy. It worked, and like we don't teach it. Like for example, here in American schools, they don't teach that. There's a lot of things that should be
Yeah.
taught there that they're not. And I feel like if we all jumped into this train of meditating, taking care of ourselves, journaling, controlling your thoughts, man, we would be in a different place right now. Instead of fighting with each other, we'd be cooperating with each other and getting to new highs as a society. That's my
Yeah.
thing, man, right now. Like I feel like we need to unite and cooperate.
100%, 100%. I believe that, man. Everything is just so separated and comparing each other, but it should be the complementing each other. I think that's just the law of nature.
Totally, man. It's like we're all different, right? We all have different things. We all have our own specialty, our own passion, and we have our gifts, and everybody has to respect that. Yeah, it's one of those things that I think with time, it'll get better. But we just have to see, man. with in regards to TikTok, bro, I know a lot of my audience is trying to build a social personal brand like yours, man. Getting a
Mhm.
million followers is really awesome. Congratulations on that. What were
Appreciate
some of
that.
the ways you grew it to that level? Any tips, anything specific?
Yeah, so if there's someone watching and want to build a TikTok, well, algorithm changes, quite often, and I don't really follow the algorithm, but it was more like a psychology.
Okay.
And what I've focused on that when I was like trying to grow was that the people don't give a shit what think about your contents.
Yeah.
So if you create a contents for literally not for yourself. For example, if you look at my video, there's like me having a pimple right then it looks like shit.
Yeah.
But I'm not making contents or any video for myself. So I don't really I care nothing about me in that. Like I try to make it creative so that I can also visually, entertain,
Yeah.
but I'm making the contents for somebody who's watching. And that is one of the biggest reason why I get a lot of views.
Hmm. So in a way, you try to relate with them more.
Yeah, like whatever it is, like whether it is entertainment. Okay, so I want to make, let's say, a sports, or I want to make a mental health.
Okay.
I don't care what clever message you've got, what quote you've got, what emotion that you can think that you can bring. Nobody gives a shit. So you have to think about what do they want to see? What do they want to watch? Whether it is a funny video, whether it is a motivational video, whether it is mental health,
Yeah.
you have to think about what they want to watch.
Of course.
And then if you just put your ego aside and what you want to do aside, then you'll probably get a lot more views.
Wow.
100%.
No, that makes sense, man. That totally makes sense. And in a way, you like I said, you try to relate with them more, try to make it about them, not about you. Now
Yeah.
let's go to the beginning. The beginning when Show starting off, making his TikTok, making his personal brand. You were doing the same formula of just trying to think of what they want to see and then continue posting when you're starting to grow your social brand.
When I first started,
Yeah,
oh, like I didn't know anything, bro. Like I only had 1,000 followers on Instagram, which I
I
didn't
saw.
really like. I only post like few of my modeling picture because I used to model, but I was too shy to post myself, like to talk in front of the camera and stuff like that. So I gradually started from just kind of like a thirst trap, like because I didn't know what to do. So like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
first couple of videos, just me in fashion and those kind of thing,
yeah.
like me smiling or like whatever the stupid that video that I did. But I started to talk about meditation and stuff like that, and then gradually people started to show less interest because the first couple video was nothing compared, like nothing related to those topics. So I had to again, attract a different type of people to the to my platform, and it was really about me trying to find what is this game.
Yeah.
Like it's like trying to understand somebody you just met, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, bro. I get that, and I mean, I'm sure you're glad you kind of started posting about the meditation and stuff. You have that aurora, bro. Like you have that personality, that calm, soothing voice. That like within the videos, man. I watched most of your videos and TikToks today, and I see why people like him so much because you're
Mhm.
passive, and what you're talking about is meditation, which is also very passive and trying to be centered
Yeah,
and all that. I love it, man. You're relating with them, and I followed you right away. I sent it to my mom. My mom was like, "Oh my
yeah.
god." My mom was like, "Oh my god,
Appreciate that.
let me talk to him."
Cool. Yo, let me say something about this. The like people see that my high quality content with the good lighting and the microphone and everything, and me kind of like showing up with all the confidence and like charisma, like whatever. But all my most of our videos are shot in iPhone 10, and I didn't have that, all the crazy thing. I only had like I have a ring right there, right? And then I
Mm,
bought it in Milan, which is like a year ago,
yeah,
and it's super small, not like just $30, you know, ring light. And I only had that one, and I was carrying that everywhere I go, like Amsterdam, Milan, and I went to also Marta and stuff like that. And then
nice.
that low quality videos still in the highest view on my platform. So,
Wow.
if there's people, thinking about, oh, it has to be high quality. No, that's not true. And then I've seen a lot of the YouTubers as well that's becoming successful with the low quality content with only ring light, no
Yeah.
editing skills, nothing. But it's really about not the quality, it's about, is this content that enjoyable or the valuable for somebody who's watching?
No, I totally get you, bro, and I get that, and I feel you on that. I think one thing too is I feel like you have to be authentic too, right? It has to be who you are, because when you try to
Yeah.
be this person that you're not, it's noticeable off the bat, and people just don't connect with you. An example: when I started this podcast, man, I tried to be very business like. This was my first podcast, first time showing my face in the camera, all of it, really building my personal brand. And I was trying to be very formal, asking these questions. And then next thing you know, my mentor called me. He's like, bro, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? This is not where you're supposed to be. This is not what I told you to do,
Yeah.
basically, because he was the one who told me to build a podcast. And I was like,
Yeah.
shit, man, you're right. And so now I'm just very open with it. I go with the flow. I try to ask questions. I talk about myself. I curse. I
Yeah.
let it be, right? Because I like it to be authentic, and it's doing much better, man. So I mean, right? Authenticity is key with building a brand.
Yeah. No, 100% I agree. And I think in this, like, I also wasn't one of the victim, but like, it's so hard to actually understand what is authentic about, like, because there's so many ways to, there's so many people talking about like how to grow YouTube, how to grow social media and stuff, like, be authentic. Like, how do you define authentic? Like, and then I was like, okay, authentic, and I have to show more and show more, be
Yeah.
vulnerable, open my chest. Hey, this is me. Like, see me, like, buck naked. Here we are.
Yeah.
But that's not authentic. Like Gary Vee and all the biggest social media gurus, they don't show the private. But now people think that showing everything is the authentic, but that's not true. The authentic is just literally you showing up with your, whatever that, your mindset or whatever your body says. And it's okay to be in that moment limited. You don't have to, show your lunch, and you don't have to bring your boyfriend into, her stories and everything. That's not authentic. I think authenticity is really about being in that present moment with the best way you can, whether you don't want to show what is your private life looks like, you can still be unauthentic.
I agree, bro. I agree. I agree. And it's about what you said in a way too, being vulnerable. I mean, you don't have to like do all these things, but for example, like yesterday I almost burned my apartment down. Like literally, man. I left the candle on, the candle fell into the
Shit.
garbage, there was a fire, and I was like, holy shit, there was a lesson to it. But I also try to make it funny at the end of the day. I was like, guys, if you've encountered a situation you've never been in, don't freeze, act. If I would have frozen, my apartment would be burnt. And then the
Yeah.
second lesson, I was like, don't leave your candle on like a fucking idiot. Like I try to make it funny, authentic. That's
Yeah,
just my
man.
personality. Like I'm serious, but at the same time, I joke around a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's helping.
Yeah, man, love that, man. I think you should be serious, and you should be fun, and then you should be everything that you want to be. And I think that's authentic.
That's
That's
right.
not black and white, right? Like, you are everything that you are. And it just, whether you wanna, it's our choice to, okay, this is who we should be, or like who we want to be, but this is not. Like, you can't just do that. Like, there's definitely a lot of aspect that wants to be expressed as who you are.
Yeah. Well, look, I think one thing too, man. Talking about confidence, how that we started your first video, you had anxiety, and then you've built yourself to this.
Mhm.
Correct me if you think opposite to this, but I think for me, I had to build my confidence first to be able to do this and to be authentic. Because if you're not confident,
Mm.
I didn't have the confidence. What I was trying to do is I was trying to please others and basically do what I thought others thought I needed to do, or what I thought was right in the moment, rather than just doing what I thought I knew I needed to do. But that comes with confidence. And I mean, meditation, reading, exercising every day go a long way with that. Do you agree with that? That you have to build your confidence to a degree to be able to, not to be able to build a brand, but at least to be authentic and be able to say things and be vulnerable.
I agree with that, because I think confidence is so important for all of us, because we can feel comfortable. But I also believe confidence comes from competence, and then competence doesn't come from conference.
Mm.
So, what I mean by that is that we have to do something that allows us to improve our skill, so that as a result we become confident. So like all of my accomplishment was obviously when I started, I had zero confidence. Like I was not confident. I didn't pretend. I just be there as the best way I can and consciously, you know, improve whatever I can improve in that situation.
For sure, man. No, that's beautiful. Now, bro, let me ask you this. What's the next 5 years look like for Show? What's your plans? What's your big goals?
Uh 5 years. I definitely want to reach one, well, it can be multiple, but $1 million income. And yeah, in five, that's my 5 year goal. But aside of that goal, what I want to do is just travel around.
Yeah.
That's all I want in life, bro. Like that's all I want, like to go somewhere that take my breath away and just be there, like drown into that energy from my eyes or like ears and everything, and then meet people there, and maybe, you know, have some ramens then and there. And that's all I, well, that's all I want. I don't need anything, bro. Like I sleep on a fucking mattress like a real Japanese people.
Yeah.
I don't own much things.
Yeah.
That's all I want, man. I'm a super simple person. I don't think luxury is a bad thing, but
Yeah.
it's just all I want is like I know all I want. So I just do that, and then whatever that comes along. Yeah, man, I'm willing to kind of like let it go, whether it is something good or bad. It's just let it flow. But that's
Yeah.
all I want. And that's probably next 5 years. I live in like that
I
and
like
make
that, bro.
content and like,
You keep it real, man. You just want to live life and you want like financial freedom, freedom of time,
yeah,
not being told
yeah,
what to do and not depending on somebody's income to live your life. That's
yeah,
that's
man.
that's I think, I mean, when you're starting, like that's one of my goals too, like just be able to do whatever I want. But it's cool that you say that, man, because most people come into the show and tell me like, yeah, I want to have a 50 million, 100 million, $200 billion business. And I'm sure like if you could get to that, you will. But at the same time, your personality is just like, hey man, listen, like I want to just do my thing, and that defines winning to you. So that's beautiful, bro. What I ask my all my guests one question, or basically what book, podcast, movie, or something that you'd recommend that would get my audience motivated and going.
That damn, I love that. I love that question. Maybe I'll use that on a date. Um, so can I say that? Okay, one movie. This is my favorite. Pay It Forward, and I think it can be a book. It's based on a book, but I've watched the movie when I was like, I'm gonna become a movie geek. In the first movie I was recommended from a friend of mine back in the days. It's called Pay It Forward. Beautiful
Okay.
movie. It's exactly, you know, what you said. It's a unity. It's a connection, right? And it's
Totally.
beautiful. Like it was watch. And when it comes to the book, I love the book called Meditation. I mean, everything about meditation to me. Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
love it, bro.
sir. Yeah,
Love it.
and
Meditation is
100%.
definitely one of those books I recommend to everyone too, man. That one,
Yeah,
man. And if you haven't read it, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. That one
Power of
is
Subconscious
one of
Mind.
those
Yeah,
books.
I've
It
heard that.
reminds me a lot of Think and Grow Rich, because it's a lot of the
Mhm.
mental, like just like a lot of the same things, but it's a great book to read, man. That's awesome, man. Meditation, everybody read it. I've read it twice. It's one of those books that you got to continue reading it, and you grasp it more and more and more.
Yeah.
Bro, thank you so much for taking the time coming to the show, man. What's your social media? What's your website? Where can my audience find you?
You can find me. Oh, it's complicated to actually say it, but my Instagram handle is like Call Me Show. Okay, maybe I should change it. TikTok, Show Nemoto. My name is Show Nemoto, and so
Yeah,
like you can find me everywhere on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And I'm trying to build a YouTube channel right now, so I appreciate if you find, you know, interesting. Hit the subscribe button, notification bell, please.
yeah, yeah. They will, guys. This will be on the notes as always. Go give them a follow. Great follow. Very motivating. Helps you with your mindset. Show, thank you so much for coming to the show, man. Looking forward to continue seeing your growth, man. Take care.
Pleasure.